This week we're going to be discussing / reviewing the latest Scream movie, Scream 7. Tagline, please let this end. That's not the actual tagline, I don't know. Stick with us to find out if it's any use. Hello, all, welcome to Middle Age Geeks. I'm one of your hosts, Phil, joined as always by my co-host, Daz. Daz, what's the story?
I'm good, man. Looking forward to chatting about this amazing horror movie that's redefining the genre. How about you?
Good. Yeah, let's get into it. So, like as I said, we're mainly a review podcast, and we're going to get stuck into that main spoiler-free review, and then at the end we'll have a couple of spoilered bits, but we'll give you plenty of notice. So, Daz, I'm going to go through a few bits just to give you the synopsis and all that crap, and then we'll get your opening thoughts on this gem. So the synopsis is: when a new ghost-faced killer emerges in the quiet town where Sydney has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, she must face the horrors of her past and put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. You know, I'm sure that once and for all has been said over the past 6 movies before this as well. But
this time it's different.
Yeah. So this one's directed by Kevin Williamson from a screenplay he co-wrote with Guy Busick. He's been involved in most of the movies. I'm pretty sure he did a screenplay for the original, didn't he, Kevin Williamson?
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah. He's a really good screenwriter, questionable director.
Yeah. So this one stars some like people who've been in some of the previous ones. It's obviously Neve Campbell, and then there's Jasmine Savoy, Mason Gooding, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, Courtney Cox all coming back, and then the new cast, Isabel May, who plays the daughter, Anna Camp, Michelle Randolph, Jimmy Tatro, McKenna Grace, Asa German, Celeste O'Connor. It's just a whole load, and Joel McHale, who I just cannot buy as a police officer at all.
Nonsense casting.
Yeah,
Nonsense.
Yeah. So let me know what did you think of this one? I don't think you haven't seen the last 5, 6.
Well, I saw Scream 1 like 9 times in the cinema. And I fucking loved that. Loved it. I think I saw 2. I don't think I saw 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I hear 5 and 6 were kind of like, they're kind of shaking things up and trying to rebuild the franchise. But yeah, this is easily one of the most boring and bland and uninspired horror films I've probably ever sat through, and I'm an easy fucking get. I don't really like horrors that much, so for me to be bored in one is saying something. The worst thing for me is it's not that it's so bad it's good. It's worse than that. It's not offensively wild or hilariously messy or anything. It's just kind of flat, lifeless, joyless. It's kind of 2 hours of nothing, and I genuinely can't believe that I've missed all these Scream movies, but it's gone from what it was to what this is. I think it's appallingly bad writing, and the direction just screams, pun intended, a screenwriter directed this, because it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense, and I was bored to fucking tears. Almost fell asleep. How about you?
Yeah, similar. You know, it was pretty much like I enjoyed 5, Scream 5. Scream 6 was okay, but I thought Scream 5 was much better, or did they just call it Scream? I think. But this is because this is a bit of a disaster. Like the Melissa Barrera and what the hell is her name? The one who plays Wednesday Addams. Yeah, so they had been the last 2. This is going to be the third in the trilogy of their story. You know, but then apparently Melissa Barrera made some anti-Semitic remarks. Well, it depends who you talk to. Some people say the studio said it was anti-Semitic and they kicked her off. Some people are saying no, they were just pro-Palestine. They weren't anti-Semitic. I don't know. And I don't really, we're not a fucking politics podcast, so we're not going into that shit. But she obviously left. Then a couple other people as well who were involved in the other 2 movies were like, well, we're not on for the same film that we were supposed to be making, so I'm out. Jenna Ortega had like shooting conflicts because she was doing season 3 of Wednesday. So they dropped out. So this kind of script, it feels like, and really does feel thrown together, because we're trying to continue being this linking stuff to the previous movies, and it tries to do, it keeps trying to recapture that kind of meta thing that we had from the first one, where we're talking about what happens in horror movies. Don't go upstairs, don't say I'll be right
somebody
back
in.
It's always somebody like that. And you're trying to when you're trying to recapture that, and they kind of make too many comments of it in this, and it's just like, that is not working. And to the point that this feels like it's just slapped together, is that it doesn't. You're forcing some of the tie-ins, like who the Ghostface killer stuff is. Really, who gives a fuck? Like it just, you know what I mean? It's so bland for what is supposed to be this famous horror series.
Yeah, when you're talking about some of those callbacks and you list the actors and before going in, I was just like, oh, just all these people are in it, and just like I remember them from the first movie, and they're callbacks and cameos, and it's so thrown together, like it's just they're not even cameos. Some of them are just cameos on a fucking screen, and it's just these attempts to tug at nostalgia. And I guess like Matthew Lillard being in it he's possibly the only good thing about this movie, because he's also a reminder of how brilliant the first one was and how excellent the character he was, and it's just fun watching him on screen, and to realize that Quentin Tarantino's comments about him are just nonsense, because Matthew Lillard I love the man, but it doesn't, all those callbacks don't celebrate the legacy. It just reminds you how far it's fallen, and it's just like it's so haphazardly just thrown together to kind of like just put these guys in it so we can put them on the fucking poster or something. It's just appallingly put together. It's just so bad.
Yeah, it really is. I think that is to trying to get the usage out of these characters from past movies, and a lot of people who maybe are watching these now didn't bother watching the one 30 years ago. You know, when Scream was out back in whatever it was it 96, 97, was it
99?
99. When that one came out, the original one came out, a lot of we went to see it, but a lot of newer fans probably haven't seen it, and you're still doing callbacks to those movies. Like, who the fuck is Matthew Lillard? What's going on here? Like, you know, it's not really as interesting to them, but if you're a movie that just really isn't interesting at all. And again, no one fucking, this is not really much of a spoiler, but nobody fucking seems to actually die really in these movies, because like that really annoying twins played by Jasmine Savoy Brown and there, I think maybe it's from number 5 or 6, we find out their like uncle is Jamie Kennedy's character, I think is
okay, all right, yeah.
But they're just annoying as fuck. Both in the last 2 movies though, they got like mortal wounds where you think they're going to die, but both movies are back again in this one, and surprise, they both managed to live this one as well. It's like, these people are fucking immortal. Like,
yeah, like I hate the way they do that in this movie, where at least like there are moments in this where somebody gets stabbed, you know, with a blunt fucking screwdriver 5 times, and then characters who are like 2 meters away look away for a second, turn back, and she's gone. It's just like, what? What the fuck? Like, these are just regular people dressed up in ghost masks and just costumes that just have ridiculously stupid fucking reasons for doing what they're doing. But there's no supernatural element to it. Like, at least with, you know, Freddy and Jason, Michael Myers and stuff, you buy into that because, oh, they're gone, because they can't die and all this stuff, and it's just, it works. But these are just supposed to be people. Like, at one point there's a room at the start, and the opening of this movie, it's almost 15 minutes long of like a setup for 2 kills, and that has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. But at one sequence, it's like when the people go to an Airbnb that's themed around Scream or Stab or whatever,
which they show in the trailer, like almost all of it in the trailer. I think,
okay, I haven't seen the trailer, but like, there's an animatronic Ghostface in the room, and that's one of the scares, and it's kind of cool setup where it's like, oh, you know, it follows, the head follows you around the place, and it's supposed to be cool. And then the 2 people are in the kitchen, and you can see the Ghostface in the background in the other room, and they're just chatting away. And at some point during this, some person has removed the fucking metal robot Ghostface out of that room and just stood there in its place, waiting for someone to walk past him to kill them. I just like, that's nonsense. Like, I know you're set up for a gag, but like, is the well so dry that this is what you're fucking coming up with? And what is the person hanging out in that house anyway? They're just waiting for people to arrive from the Airbnb, and they'll be here anytime soon. Better get dressed and get the knife ready. It's fucking absolute bullshit. Like, and as a sequence, it's not even that impressive. But 15 minutes. It's just, the movie is 2 hours, and it's, oh, come on.
And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with regards to the bad guy, like the Ghostface in general. You know, he always ends up, he seems to be like super strength, but like if it's Michael Myers, as you said, we know that he's just this unstoppable killing machine. No matter what happens, he just keeps coming back.
That's terrifying.
But that's the cult. That's fucking awesome. But in this, like, we know that they're going to end up being regular people as they do throughout the rest of them, but they all seem to be able to be like superhuman, getting this shit kicked out of them, and they're all straight back up. The mask that they're wearing is made of, I don't know what, fucking titanium and Kevlar and stuff, because they're getting, nothing ever happens to them. But then, like, they actually, in that, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler for Scream 5, Mickey Madsen is in that one, and she's playing one of those characters. But of course, your man is always like fucking 6'5" tall.
Beat the shit out of people.
And you find out that she's been like one of the Ghostface killers the whole way through. It was like, hang on, she's about 5 foot. Like 5'2" maybe. She's tiny. He's like, how the fuck is she being kicking the crap out of fucking people? Is she on like stilts or something the whole time? But
at
like
one point somebody in one of the cooler kills, like I don't know what's in the trailer and what's not.
There is a couple of cool ones, yeah,
a couple of cool kills, but some of them seem to like they belong in Final Destination rather than there's nothing scary about this at all. We'll kind of get into that, but this person just holds somebody by the side of the like a hand on each ear and just lifts the person up into the air to do something to them, and just like, well, that's not possible. You can't fucking. What are you talking about? Especially when you find out who the killers are. Like, spoiler, there's more than one. You know, it's just so bad.
Yeah, that's actually that one you're talking about is my favorite kill in it. I think that was a laugh out loud one. But like for such a cast of well known actors, especially at the moment, like the McKenna Grace and who's just in everything at the moment, and then Asa German who's in what's it, Project V or what's it called, the spin off on The Boys? Why is that gone blank in my head?
Or Gen V.
Gen V, yeah, sorry, that's it. Yeah, then Celeste O'Connor, she was in that awesome movie that I love, Madam Web. So there's these people who are big at the moment, and then of course, Neve Campbell. I think the last one was the only one that she wasn't in.
What are your thoughts on her? Like, I don't get her at all. I think she's like I remember her from the first movie, and it just works. But the first movie works because of the writing and how self-aware it is, and sharp and funny dialogue, and the supporting cast, and it's genuinely scary and all that kind of stuff. And she's serviceable, but I don't think she's a great actress at all. Like, but she has some scenes that they're trying to do a connection with her and her daughter, and it just like doesn't really work. But maybe that's because of the directing. Like, all the scenes just fall flat. It's just like a TV of the week or TV fucking movie of the week at times. Just going, how is this so flat? Like,
they're so hard to buy as a family. Like, because Joel does nothing between Joel McHale and those two characters to make it feel like a proper husband and wife, or even that his kid. There's nothing there. He looks like comic in that fucking cop uniform. It's like, it's ridiculous.
What's he doing in the movie? Like,
yeah,
is he in the previous movies?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I couldn't be 100% sure. I don't think so. I think he's new to this. But like, the daughter is so unlikable. Like, she's from the minute go, I'm like, God, she's a dickhead. There's nothing really between them. And then the writing is fucking shocking though, for like dialogue wise. Is shocking that, you said, it's a TV movie. There's a line towards the end that I'll wait till the spoiler section, that I audibly went, ugh. Unfortunately, no one and everyone else in the movie theater, nobody was interested in the movie. It was just dead silence. Everybody just sat there. So of course everybody heard me. So just a few snickers around, like, because it was just so like, oh God. It was just, It was a hard watch, like 2 hours long as well.
Like I know it's a horror movie and you're not exactly looking for excellent character development or whatever, but like, I still go back to you think about the first Scream, because this is the same fucking franchise where there's just characters are likable, a bit of fun, but the characters, it's like they're either assholes or they're fucking paper thin. Like, and like, I was so uninterested in what the fuck was going on when one of the reveals happened, and just like, and pulled off the ghost face. I literally went, because my cinema was empty, I went, who the fuck is that? Like, is he a cop? I didn't know who the fuck he was, and was just like, okay. And the dialogue after that doesn't explain who he is anyway. And you're like, why are you doing it? I just don't know why you're doing this. And,
I knew there was going to be more of him, because when we meet him earlier on in the movie, he's acting way too weird. When we meet him earlier on in the movie, it was like, oh, he has to come back into it. There's no reason for him to be. Why wouldn't he just be a normal guy if that particular role? But the way he was, it was like, I was like, right, he's going to appear again later. Now, I'd completely forgotten about him. But by later on, when he did get revealed, I was like, oh yeah, your man. Yeah, so what? Like, it's yeah, like, it's look. Let's just, because we'll get bogged down moaning about it. So let's just jump into some of the performances. We've mentioned Neve Campbell already, but what about get the likes of Courtney Cox coming back?
what's she coming back from? Like, has she been in any of the other ones?
Yeah, she was. She was in.
Okay, so was she in 6?
I'm not sure if she was in 6. She was definitely in 5.
Okay, so
I can't remember if she was
not
in 6.
really. Is she coming back, or is she just missed one?
She pretty much has missed one. I think. Yeah.
Look.
But even just seeing her in general, I don't see her. You don't see her in much these days. Like.
Yeah, true. But and I'm not one to body shame anyone, but from some angles, it looks like her face is falling off her face. It's really weird. I don't know.
The Kelly Osbourne effect.
Yeah, it's just she looks kind of strange.
She's just older. That's all. I'm just getting old. We all look like shit when we get older. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I know, but she's just done a lot to her face, probably too much. She just looks strange. She looks like she's 30, but not 30. But herself and Neve Campbell, it's kind of like, they're kind of butting up again together, and it just kind of peters out to nothing because they set up that, and again, the last act, Courtney Cox just disappears, and it just nothing works. I'm surprised there's not 55 writers on the movie. When you're kind of going just bits, just characters come in and just disappear at different times, and get into people making stupid decisions. It's just like, my word, it's just because it's a horror slasher movie doesn't mean it has to be fucking piss poor writing. Like, bad writing, and bad directing is bad directing.
Yeah, I suppose that's where it can be difficult sometimes to work out if you're looking at a bad performance or if you're looking at someone who's just doing their best with what they've been given. Because there's no one in this that I was really rooting for or enjoying apart from Matthew Lillard, as you said. The rest of them, we couldn't really care less. I only see Neve Campbell in these movies and actually anything else, so I had not a lot to compare her to. I normally like your one, Jasmine Savoy Brown. I loved her in The Leftovers. It's just in general, there's no one really that, I could stand out and say, yeah, they really put in a fantastic performance. There's also there's just way too many of them as well, I think.
There's far too many characters, and they just pop up for like, here's a scene with like 5 characters talking about something, and you're just watching it going, it's just nonsense. Like, it doesn't further anything to do with the plot, and you don't know anything else about these characters. And if they just disappeared, you wouldn't fucking remember them, and you wouldn't miss them. When some characters just pop up and it's like, remember him? Yeah, he was in a scene fucking an hour and 40 minutes ago. Like,
Well, actually, look, I suppose there's not really a massive amount we can say regarding the performances. I would like to. You said it at the start as about Kevin Williamson, about he can screenwrite, but maybe not a great director. So I want to hear your thoughts on that.
It's just so bland. The scenes, pacing wise, the kind of tone of the actors, the tones of the scenes. It just feels like you're watching a TV drama or a TV movie of the week, and I just couldn't believe that it seems like he's failing at every single aspect of directing. Like, he's just been thrust into this, and like I think he directed Teaching Miss Tingle or something like that back in when he came to fame as a screenwriter. I think like 25 years ago. It's just piss poor. He's not even good at building suspense. There's so many moments in this where there's like, and I just get scared, just a fucking night walking back from the shop. You know what I mean? So like, the tension that he's building up here, it's not like you see some movies where someone's really good at like building horror tension, and the rest of the movie is just nonsense because it's shit performance and they don't know anything else. But even here, like, you think from someone who's so good as a horror writer and can construct something as brilliant as the first Scream movie. But like, some of the build-ups to some of these kind of scares, it's not kind of where the tension, where it goes quiet and it's building tension and then it's released with a fucking, big scare. It's just a normal scene, someone walking around, then you get that kind of and just like, oh, okay. And then another, here's another scare. Oh, did you forget? Here's another scare. And it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, but the performances were poor. That's his job. The building of tension, that's poor. The structure, it's too long. The editing, like everything that he should be overseeing, I think he just dropped the ball or failed in every category. There's nothing really I could say about it that I think he did well at all. It's even cinematography was kind of flat. Nothing stood out apart from Matthew Lillard and one or two kind of like, that's a kind of inventive kill, but not really, because the bar is just so fucking low. What about you?
No, I mean, it's the same. Like, me, like, I watch a lot of horror, and I quite enjoy a jump scare. You know, if it's done well, I love them. I love that gift. But I don't think there was any in this. I think they tried one in that opening very long 15 minutes at the start. There was one little jump, and I only jumped a little bit because the fuckers around me, I wasn't paying attention. I think it was he kept me popcorn or something, and someone beside me, they jumped. That just set me off. Like, but apart from that, there was nothing jumpy even about it. Like, if you're going to make a movie that isn't scary, there's no tension built, well, at least throw a jump scare in here and there to keep people kind of on edge. But the fact that there wasn't even any of those just meant that you're going, this is just boring ass shit. Like, this is...
That's the thing. Like, the thing I hate about horrors generally is the cheap jump scares, because they get you and it's cheap. It's like, you know, if someone's walking out of a bathroom and you hide, you go bah, and people jump, and it's very scary. It's annoying and it's cheap and easy. But this movie doesn't even do that. Like, there's nothing. Even towards the end, when there's a curfew and there's Ghostface around the town and stuff, it's shot like it's like an empty town. There's no cops anywhere. There's no one outside in the fucking city at all. So you're kind of going, okay, it looks like the lack of a budget, and it's filmed on the fucking a town backlot in Universal fucking Studios or something. So you're thinking, okay, well then maybe it's going to take place indoors in the cafe or shop or something. And some of those sequences where there is kind of chase sequences around a location that should be claustrophobic and easy to build fucking tension because it's dark and there's no lights and you've got this fucking crazy fucker going around. But there's no tension. It just wasn't scary. It was never on the edge of my seat. I was plastered right in the middle, fucking all day long. I was just...
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It's for me, it's definitely. I mean, I've seen them all, and none of them are very memorable. But like definitely of the last three that have come out recently, when they tried to reboot the series, whatever. Like Scream 6 wasn't great, but definitely better than this. This was poor. But despite that, on a budget of 45 million, and it only came out the other day, it's already made 90 million, and it's only come out the other day. Like, so it's
You're
already
joking.
Yeah. It's already made its money by. Yeah, as of the first of March, I think it is. They're up to 90 million worldwide on a 45 million budget. So it's only just out. It'll definitely make a bomb. And we'll be seeing fucking Screams 8, 9, 10. Even the directors of the last two, they're a directing duo whose names escape me. They said that they want to, whether they're involved or not, to be watching Scream movies forever. That was one of their quotes. They were like, like, whether we're involved or not, we think people should be watching Scream forever. And it feels like we probably will end up doing that. Not on this show, though. We're done. This is the last Scream movie you'll see from us. Well, look, I think maybe we'll stick a star rating, guys, and then move on to some spoiler stuff regarding kills and whatnot. Star rating for me, like, this is only, I'm not gonna go quite down to say 1, because I think 1 is maybe a little harsh. I'm gonna say 1.5, and that's mostly a star of that is probably Matthew Lillard. I love him. But yeah, I'm going to go 1.5. I think that's what I'll go. What about you?
1. And that's being generous. I just think it's not even mid-tier. It's not even kind of flawed fun or anything like that. It's just joyless, uninspired soap opera, TV of the week schlock.
Yeah.
It's like bargain bin horror for me. Bargain bin horror.
I'll never see this one again. Definitely not. That this is... Okay. So, look, if you're leaving us there, thanks as always for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. If you want to hang around, if you're not interested, or you just don't care, or you've already seen it, we're going to have a bit of chat through some of the spoilers. So I just wanted to say, Daz, on that favourite death, that one you mentioned, picking him up by the head, that death is silly, because he's already dying. He's already been stabbed in the stomach, which we don't see for some reason. I don't know why we don't get to see that. The fact that we didn't get to see the wound either made me think, oh, he's faking it, is he? Maybe he's a bad guy or something. But when they pick him up and, he dies there's a spike on the top of one of the beer taps. And
really, really impractical fucking and dangerous beer tap,
seriously,
right?
Yeah, really dangerous. But plonks on top of that. But I just love the visual, because as the beer tap goes, the beer obviously tap gets turned on, and so it's him being held up dead, and the beer is coming out of his mouth, and I just thought that was hilarious. But for most part, deaths are kind of crap. McKenna Grace, I think, McKenna Grace is in such an up and comer at the moment. I mean, she's been in movies forever, but she's always playing the younger version of somebody. But she was in Five Nights at Freddy's, and then obviously she's been in Handmaid's Tale, a bunch of other stuff. But she's huge right now. Yet she's the first one to get killed. Like, she's the first one of the main cast to kill her when she's up on that wire thing.
Yeah, even that kind of sequence when she's like practicing, she's on her trapeze thing, getting hoisted up, and even that, you're kind of going, I know some people say they really like that kill as well because he sliced her down. You see like fucking
guts coming
intestines
in.
come out and stuff. But he's just standing there as she's just like swinging by, and he's like, "Oh, I cut your arm. Oh yeah," and she's like, "Oh, fuck off, leave me alone." And it's just like, when that's the first proper death, it just go, that is just, it's just so fucking bad. It's just like,
It's the foreshadowing to that death and every other one as well. Is that before that happens, she goes, "Oh God, you need to fix this. I keep getting my leg caught in this wire." And then sure
rolling
enough,
your eyes.
sure enough, when she's getting killed, she's got her leg caught in the wire again.
But that's, you were talking about the daughter being just kind of an asshole. Like when this whole thing happens, Neve Campbell runs in and the daughter runs in and sees that her friend has been murdered, hanging up with her fucking guts falling out everywhere like that. And just like everyone's all traumatized. And then Neve Campbell says to her, just like, "Okay, come on, you're coming with me." And she says, "No, not to the boyfriend." And then the daughter's first thing she thinks about saying to her mum, after like her friend's been gutted and murdered, is, You really should be nicer to my boyfriend. And he's like, "Fuck off, man. Who's writing this? Like, fuck off, you inconsiderate little bitch. Jesus Christ, we're supposed to be rooting for you."
Oh, she's like, such a pain in the arse. I was like, I really hope she's going to get killed early on. But no, of course not. She's Neve Campbell's daughter. So she's obviously going to live on till the end. And it was her line was the one that I allowed, but she just says something about her being, "Are you going to be okay?" She said, "I'm Sidney fucking Prescott's daughter." And that's like her line for, "I'm Sidney fucking Prescott's daughter." And that was, I just fucking, just shut the fuck up. Like,
but even the lead up to that, when they're just like, the whole thing about, you're supposed to shoot her in the head. And that's when that woman reveal, after the guy reveal of like, who the fuck is this guy? I honestly didn't know who he was. Then it's like, oh, it's the neighbor. And it's just like, okay. And she has all these things. She's pissed off because I don't know why that Neve Campbell like disappeared from her life or something. Just, I'm going to turn into a murderous fucking...
Like, we haven't seen any of that. We've only seen that she's a neighbor and she seems a little bit kooky and very protective of her son or something like that.
But she murders her son.
And then one other scene, we see that she's, exactly, she kills him. One other scene, we see her when she says, "I want you to stay away from that family," or what you. So that's like basically the two scenes that she's in. And then the last scene where she's revealed as one of the killers. I don't give a fuck about her. No one's told us anything about this, that she's gone nuts, that she's obsessed with Sidney Prescott, all that stuff. You haven't given us any of that until right now, after the reveal. Like,
she has the equivalent of a fucking James Bond villain fucking explain-a-thon, because she has to explain to us her history, her motives, and everything that we haven't seen about this character that is basically her and her son, protecting her son earlier on or whatever, and her having a heart-to-heart with Neve Campbell in a fucking coffee shop. Just like, oh, yeah, really hiding her murderous fucking rage there. But when Neve Campbell says, "But what were you doing, Jessica? Like, you murdered your son." She's like, "Yeah, well, he was a bit too much like his father, who was abusive or something." It's like, no, he wasn't. You obviously loved him, like, because you were acting like that with him.
He was just a little geeky dude. He was just a dude who liked horror. Like, he was nice to everybody. It's just like, what are you talking about? Yeah,
just nonsense. So when they shoot her in the end, or they shoot her in the head at the end, and kill her, she's the one that she gets stabbed with that fucking screwdriver. And Neve Campbell and her daughter are like a meter and a half away. Neve Campbell goes, "Are you okay?" to the daughter. They turn back and she's fucking gone. And in a big warehouse room. And she's like, "Where'd she go?"
I think she got shot twice as well. It's like because as well as that, they got shot earlier on, and obviously they were wearing vests, because there was one of the guys had gotten shot earlier on as well.
With a Desert Eagle like fucking handgun that would blow your fucking chest to pieces, even with a vest on.
But like you said, you turn around for a second, you turn back, and they're gone off the ground.
But then that is funny though, when she arrives again, when she disappears, that Jessica lady, and then she comes back like, "Rah!" She runs in and they just both unload their handguns into her head. The whole thing is like, you got to shoot them in the head to make sure they're dead, and they just mash her head to bits. And it's horrendous scene. It's kind of, you're chuckling away. But then that's the setup for your line. Neve Campbell turns to her daughter and just like, "Are you okay?"
"Are you okay?"
"Of course I'm okay. I'm fucking, Sidney fucking Prescott's daughter." And just like, okay then.
Yeah, you both unloaded a full clip each into this person's head, which just exploded basically like Tarantino style fucking
If
amount
they
of
turned
blood all over.
around, if they turned around, they kind of went, Jesus, that was I didn't expect that to happen. Or something. That's the movie that we should be watching. It takes itself so fucking seriously.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's a silly movie. That just, as you said, Daz, I think a couple of times, it's not fun. It's not so bad that it's good. It's not fun where you laugh at a couple of the deaths, but for the most part, you're just kind of going, it's not wacky off the wall enough to be fun. And maybe maybe sort of people will disagree with us, and I'd love to hear those. Explain yourselves. I know I'd be interested to hear what other people think of it. For me, it just wasn't interesting, wasn't scary, wasn't well written or directed. It didn't have a whole lot going for it. Even though I gave it 1.5, that's probably how I was being generous as well. Any more spoilers, or will we finish it up there?
No, that's just like I only saw it an hour and a half ago, and that's all I can remember about it.
Okay. All right then. Well, look, guys, thanks again for joining us and for sitting through this abomination of a movie. I think that we do have a good rack of good ones coming up. I'm pretty sure it's The Bride next week, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. So,
and then Project Hail Mary after that.
Project Hail Mary as well. That's going to be fantastic. Yeah, we've got a good run, I think, over the next couple of months. Hopefully, no more fucking okay, I'll keep on watching my language. No more terrible movies like this one. So, look, guys, keep on liking, subscribing, sharing, and all that good stuff. And we will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.